Hey, I just want to introduce you once again, Skip. This is Skip Martin. He has been in entertainment his whole life. He has been all over the world singing with Kool and the Gang, Dazz Band, you name it. And one of the interesting things about Skip is also a trumpet player. I mean, that's really his forte. And he's written a new book, and get the pun here, Fables of a Paid Piper.
Right.
And so interesting. It's interesting that in this book and in this through his life, he kind of gives three principles of the three C's.
3 C's.
And I want you to talk a little bit about that, Skip. Skip, good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me here. And I've learned some things through. One of my gifts that I've been blessed by God. You are always responsible to use those gifts to help people, because that's what God's about. And so that's just something you're required to do. So that's why I created this book, Fables of a Paid Piper.
Right.
That's why I use, when I'm teaching people, the 3 C's, which are elements to success. And the first C has to do with courage. You have to have the courage enough to go to an environment that's less familiar, that's less comfortable, less convenient, and work your way and horn yourself and develop your character. And that's what I've learned.
Now stop. Let's expand a little bit. So, talking about courage. So, I know you've been venturing out into some new things. Naturally, I mean, your forte, I mean, your realm is music and singing and the trumpet. And now you're moving out into motivational speaking. You're moving out into writing and all of these things. Tell me about what that step has. What have you learned about courage in taking those new steps in your life? It's a different direction.
Yeah, it is a different direction. I think because I did it earlier, leaving home and going to other places, environments to learn how to sing, it helped me to trust in that fear of that unknown to step into doing this. And writing books and what have you was something that wasn't so much my forte. So what I did was because of my experience, I learned to adapt the environment where I was comfortable to do it. So instead of going there and trying to do something that was alien and just sit down and write everything,
right,
I recorded it on a tape, and then I came back and wrote it afterwards.
So you kind of roll with what you felt like was your strengths instead of trying to fit into a mold.
Right.
Once again, we were talking about music, about how you can read music, but yet. And you don't go by you don't go by the sheets on the music, right?
Right.
It comes from somewhere else.
Music to me, music is the sound of a soul singing.
Right.
That's what music is.
Wow.
And so it's not the notes on the paper. The notes on the paper are the GPS that helps you get down the road.
Right.
But the GPS can't drive a car.
can't tell you when to stop and go to the gas station, go to the bathroom, or whatever. Yeah.
So I try to let people know that the notes and the words it's just like the words that you read on a paper. Those are the words, but you have to ingest it into your heart and soul to make it reality, make those words reality, or else they're just words. And it's the same thing with notes.
Okay, so that first C was courage. What's the second C?
Second C is collaboration. You have to have a vision.
Wait, stop. Can you spell that for me?
No.
Dude, I'm a doctor. I can't even spell that word. Collaborate. Okay.
You got to have collaboration, or the vision to see the power and strength in collaborating with somebody else that has something that you don't have, because there's power in numbers. Always there's power in numbers. If you're out on an island by yourself, you're doomed. You're never going to win it like that.
Hey, so speaking of collaboration, how has collaboration made a difference in your life? I mean, I know that you haven't been seeing all this success on your own.
Well, yes, I have success from playing and being around people and playing the music, having the gift to be put in a certain position. But I remember playing solos for Jungle Boogie, and the band is bumping up, and I turn around and I would be nothing if it weren't for those other 15 people that were all playing their parts to give me a platform to stand on and do my thing.
Wow.
And now I'm brought to tears because I'm grateful, because while I'm doing this gift that I have, I see the guys behind me. Boom, 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 boom. Go ahead on, bro. You got it. I'm like, really? Do it. now I'm in it. Now I'm like, all right, and
Yeah.
we're rolling. But if it weren't for them giving me that platform, it wouldn't have been as effective. It's like an army. You know, we're all playing, and everybody's got one little intricate part. One guy, all he's gonna do is don't. Now that's just by himself. But when you got all the other people, and the drum, everybody's got their little part that makes it. Now it's an army, and it's so strong that it's like the people are just like, I'm trying to keep still, but I can't stop my head from moving. You know, so that's the blessing of that collaboration and being in a group, because there's nothing more powerful than an army going forward.
And collaboration's fun.
Collaborations. Then the next scenario is, it's a C word. You have to have a relationship, an understanding of Christ, because Christ is the answer to all things, and the connection to all of these pulls all of this stuff together. It's like the period, it's like the capital at the beginning of the sentence and the period at the end of the sentence. That's what Christ encompasses. So, and I have all of those C's that came before. I have the courage to say that to people I don't even know. I have the collaborative influence to be able to share that with you, Doc, so that we can share this with other people. It's a win-win. However, you have to also understand that success is a double-edged sword. The people closest to you pay the biggest price for your success.
Wow.
And it's always going to be something about it. So I want to share a quick story that has to do with those 3 C's. And
is this from your book?
This is from the book called Fables of a Paper Pipe.
Right.
And this story, briefly, is called The River. Now, I was about 17 years old, and I have a brother of mine. He's 15 years old. He's from Richmond, California, city boy, and I'm living in the country. I've been playing my trumpet and playing in my band since I was 15 years old as a professional. I've been doing it for 2 years now, and I bring him in the summer to come and stay with me and my mom. They wanted to get him out of the city because he was,
making some
poor choices and getting into trouble. And, the young black man, he may not even make it to be an adult. So he'd come send him to me where it's a little bit safer in Sacramento. So now we do our boy things, and I take him with me when I'm playing, and he shows me about how to talk to girls, because I didn't even know how to talk to them. I was playing my trumpet all this time. What, she likes me? I don't care. So I'm playing this and doing all this stuff. So he comes in, and now I'm going to take him. I'm an outdoorsman. I go fishing, I go hunting, I go rafting, and all of this stuff.
That was new to him.
That was new to him. So I took him out to the river. One day I said, we're going to take this raft and we're going to go down. We're going to take our raft and go down. We had cans of beers. We had afros in our hair. We was being grown. We were watching
back in the day.
Watching the girls with their tops off going down the river and what have you. We were just having boy stuff and having a great moment at the end of the day. He'd never been on a raft before. And so we're just going to raft down, and my stepdad was going to come and pick us up at the end of the day at this park, and then we'd be able to go home. So we're going down. Now, it was a drought that summer. The river was lower than it had been in years. And as we're going down, it's getting about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, about 2 hours before they're going to come pick us up. And we've been going all day. This is ice water that comes down from Lake Tahoe. Trout water.
Oh, I bet that's beautiful down there.
Beautiful. It was like trout water and all that stuff. It was cold. And so I said, Lee, we're on our way around this lake, man, and I hear somebody that said,